Hi guys, how are you doing? We are live. I know it's been a minute, but here we are. Today we are talking about 5 birth plan mistakes that you must avoid at all costs. And welcome to our live chat. We have a live chat there. If you have a question, please just type it there, so that I can be able to address it. And if I want to invite every pregnant mom who is if you're in your second trimester, if you're also in the third trimester, just about or preparing to go into labor, this video or this live video is gonna help you a great deal. So tune in, share the live, tell me there in the chat box, am I audible? Can you hear me properly? Is my audio okay? Let me know. And don't forget to use that chat feature so that we can understand each other. So I'm gonna just minimize my camera in here so that I can share. I have a short presentation so that you can see these 5 mistakes that you need to avoid as a mom who's preparing your birth plan. We're gonna talk about birth plans in general. I know you know what a birth plan is, but I just want you to understand this so that you can avoid these mistakes, because a birth plan is so vital. So let me stop just showing my face and just show my face in my presentation so that we can do this together. So allow me to just minimize this, and then I'm gonna go to Gamma where I've prepared my presentation, and I'm gonna talk about that. Okay, I'm gonna put here. This is a study I was doing about DEPO earlier on today. I wanted to do a short presentation on my TikTok about DEPO. I was researching on something. So let's go to the business of the day here. Let me see if it is. Yes, right there. So I'm gonna just expand this. So let me know, can you see this? So we are talking about the 5 birth plan mistakes you can't afford to make. And let us go straight to business. So what is a birth plan? A birth plan helps you to think about your wishes for labor and delivery. Like, what do you wish your labor to be like? Like, what is that vision that you have in your head? So that is like putting down your vision on a piece of paper. Like, how do you see it going like? So that is what a birth plan is. But sometimes what seems like a good idea can lead to stress because of many unforeseen things that we are going to talk about. So let us look at some of the common mistakes and how to avoid them. Okay, mistake number 1, and I'm still expecting your questions. Please ask them there in the chat box so that we can engage. Yes, and also get to learn about each other. So mistake number 1 is having a really rigid script. Here, what is the problem with a rigid script? The problem is you think that your birth plan is a fixed script, but birth can be really unpredictable. I've seen many mothers, even me, with my first birth plan. Like, you make a birth plan, but nothing goes by the book. For example, let me give you an example with myself. My first pregnancy, I had a perfect birth plan. I was going through our natural birth, everything. I had written everything down. The labor, my birth partner, like I didn't want any medications. I just wanted the natural, everything natural. And it went well until the time I was about 7 centimeters dilated, and you know that was for you to get to 7 centimeters dilation or cervical dilatation, you know that you've labored for quite some time, maybe 7 hours. I think I had labored for about 7 hours, 8 hours. But there arose a problem. The baby was not descending properly because there's a way that when your cervix is dilating, there should be also a proportional or a proportionate level that the baby is also descending down on your pelvis so that they can be delivered. So yes, I was dilating very well, but the descent of the baby was not going as planned. So what happened to my birth plan? It changed. Everything changed because I had to go for an emergency C-section because the baby was getting tired. Let me just use a layman's language. The baby was getting tired, and you know what can result. So a birth plan, don't think that everything is going to go by the book. Do not have that mindset. I always tell ladies to have a flexible mindset. Have a flexible mindset because labor can be so unexpected. So that is the problem. And the solution here is, just see that birth plan as a guide, like a list of preferences, like what you prefer done, and a communication tool, so that maybe if I'm your midwife and you give me that birth plan, I'm gonna read it through, and we're gonna talk about that later on. So let it serve as a communication tool, as your list of preferences, like how do you prefer your room to be like, who do you want to be in your room? No, like it's a list of preferences, but be ready for detours. Be ready for detours because things can change very fast. So that is the first mistake that you need to avoid at all costs. So let us look at the mistake number 2. Not considering alternatives, like you're not considering alternatives. And here the problem is having a black and white plan with no backup options. What if things change? And I've given you a really perfect example. There's also another lady, I know very many ladies, maybe you had listed your birth partner to be your husband, your spouse, but then these people sometimes maybe they're even out there busy. There are other birth partners who are also not so responsible. Maybe they took that time to just go out there and have fun while you are in labor. So consider alternatives. If this birth partner does not show up, who else would I prefer to be there? So list at least 2, maybe your mom, your sister, your spouse, whatever. Just have an alternative. If the labor does not progress well, what would I prefer? Have that as an alternative. Maybe you can say something like, yes, I prefer a natural birth and I intend to go through a natural vaginal birth, but if it is not possible, I'm open and ready for an emergency C-section. This is not saying that you are wishing for that, but just keeping your options open. So that is what you need to do here. So the solution is plan for different scenarios. You need to do that. Talk about pain relief, even if you hope for a natural birth, because here flexibility is key. Like for me, I've given you that example. So have a plan for different scenarios in your birth plan. And if you don't know how to make a birth plan, we normally do this in our labor and birth prep class. We normally hold this class every once a month. I know it's been a while since I popped up here on YouTube, but you can find a link in there if you want to be prepped for labor, for birth, and so that you can have a really beautiful, positive birth story and learn all of these things. Enroll to our birth prep class. There's a link that you're gonna find there in the video description or in the first pinned comment after the live session is over. So that is mistake number 2. Let us look at mistake number 3. Ignoring your birth partner. Ignoring your birth partner. Your birth partner is your advocate, and leaving them out means they can't fully support you. For example, the role of a birth partner, maybe it's your spouse, your sister, your mom, your friend, your best friend, whoever, is to advocate for you. For example, maybe you are in the early stages of labor, you need water, you need some snack, you need more warmth, you need the beddings changed. There are supposed to be there to advocate for you, to speak for you, just to make sure that you are comfortable, you are well taken care of, everything is going well. And if there's a problem that is arising, then they are the people that will will not kindly, they are the people that are going to be able to voice it out on your behalf because you're so busy in labor. So don't leave them out. Make sure that they know what their role is. Like Mercy, for example, maybe your birth partner is called Mercy. Mercy is your best friend. Tell her, Mercy, when I go into labor, this is what I expect. This is my birth plan. If I tell you maybe something, I need something, you're the person to do that for me. Check, yeah, like be my advocate, like be there for me until the whole thing is done. So don't ignore your birth partner. Make sure that they know what role they are playing. Because I've also seen some birth partners, yes, they will take you to the facility, but they're out there just stranded, not knowing what they are supposed to be doing. So it is up to you. If you've listed them as a birth partner, make sure that they know I've been admitted into labor, I'm in the labor ward, or in this stage of labor, this is what you need to do. The second stage of labor, this is what you need to do. But even no, there are some pregnant ladies who don't even know what to expect, and that is why it is not a good thing to go into labor unprepared, and that is what labor and birth prep classes are for. So why are you not taking a class so that you can be informed? Your partner should be part of every decision that you make. So involve them from the very start. Discuss every preference with them because they are your voice when you need them most. I know I've mentioned that. So let us talk about mistake number 4. I will be addressing all the questions there. Even if you see this live, maybe after I've exited the live, please feel free to leave your question there in the comment, and also comment and like this video. So mistake number 4, failing to communicate with your medical team. So why is this a problem? So imagine you've created your birth plan. It is so perfect. It is amazing. Like everything is by the book. But then I, as your midwife, I have no idea what is in your birth plan, or your obs-gyn, your doctor does not know what is in your birth plan. Like how is that even going to help you? So you need to prepare that birth plan. Yes, you have that birth plan, go with it during one of your last appointments and discuss it with your midwife, with your doctor, like line by line, so that they are informed, so that when you are admitted in labor, you are not ambushing them, like you're not just showing them the birth plan then, because they may not even have time to go through it. But during your appointments, your prenatal appointments, make sure you go through your birth plan with your midwife so that they can know what you prefer, everything, and so that they can even participate better, be more supportive during the time that is needed. So not talking to your doctor or midwife about your plan beforehand, that is a big mistake. And the solution is here. You need to discuss your preferences, you align your expectations, and make sure that everyone is on the same page. That is so vital. So avoid that mistake at all costs. Don't just create or write a birth plan that only you and your husband know about. So make sure that even those people who are going to take care of you also know about this, and that includes your midwife, your doctor, your obs-gyn, the whole team know about this. So let us talk about mistake number 5. Mistake number 5 is focusing only on birth. Focusing only on birth, like your birth plan ends at the point where you give birth, like there is no beyond. That is a huge mistake that you must avoid at all costs. So do not forget the after, because birth is just the beginning, and the time right after birth is just as important for you and your baby. So the problem here is you neglecting to plan for the crucial post-birth period. You know that this period is so sensitive, so sensitive. You will see ladies with postpartum blues because it is, especially first time moms, it is a huge transition. Like you are just a single lady and now you are a mom who is supposed to take care of this whole human, and you have zero experience. Like this is not something that you've ever done. That transition, it is not easy at all, and you need support. So make sure that you include this support. Like what would you want post birth? So the solution here is include preferences. For example, when I deliver my baby, I want to hold him or her like skin to skin. I want to breastfeed my baby. I don't want them to get the formula. I want, just list everything that you want. Like who do you want? Do you want visitors after you deliver? um Everything, like list everything that is, I would say, like make sure that the environment is so supportive, because after delivery what you need most is support. Support mostly, let me say support. You need a lot of support, so make sure that you are also including this bit in your birth plan, not only focusing on the birth. So you need to avoid these mistakes, and the only way that you can avoid these mistakes is it comes down to great preparation. Preparation. It comes down to great preparation. So you need to prepare for all of this before you go into labor. That is where the role of our birth prep class, labor and birth prep class, comes in, so that you can know what to expect during labor, and so that you can even know what to include in your birth plan. Because what are you going to include in your birth plan if you don't even really know what goes on? Like, what am I expected to do during the first stage of labor, second stage of labor, third stage of labor, fourth stage of labor? How am I supposed to care for this newborn for the first 24 hours? What is the role of my birth companion? Like, what should I pack in my hospital bag? How should I breastfeed? Like the first breastfeeding session, how should it be like? Like, if the milk is not coming out, what am I supposed to do? There is so much things. How should I take care of my vagina post delivery if I've had a vaginal delivery? If I've had a C-section, how should I take care of myself for the first, during the prepurium period until you recover? These are things that you learn in a labor and birth prep class. Like, how should you behave or do to ease your labor, to make the labor process easier, manageable, quicker. Like, all these things, you need to learn them in a labor and birth prep class, and you can avoid all of these mistakes when you have a great preparation. So I know I've already introduced our labor and birth prep class, and it is designed specifically for first-time moms like you, and we cover everything that you really need to know, as I've mentioned. And yes, so what you're gonna learn about birth plans, how to talk to your team about stages of labor, about postpartum, like initially, like for example, the first 24 hours and then up to the first 6 weeks, how to initiate breastfeeding, how to care for your newborn baby. All of these things are things that you learn in the labor and birth prep class. It is a very crucial class that, honestly speaking, every first-time mom should take a labor and birth prep class. So I think we're gonna end there. Let me check if we have questions. If you want to join the class, there's a link there on in my video description. Make sure you use it to sign up for the class. Yes, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining in. If you watch this live later on, also leave your comment in there so that I can get back to you. Don't forget to join the labor and birth prep class.